All right. Hey, happy Friday, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Hoping I have a good recording. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. Okay, looks like we're good. All right. So, happy Friday. Hope you're all doing well. You guys made it. It's officially the weekend. And yes, I did cut it all off. I got sick of it. I cut it off. So, we're going to discuss a few things. Now, I haven't done this in about 2 weeks, and so there's a lot to catch up on. And this is kind of why I do not like not doing Financial Fridays, because so much happens on a Friday, or not a Friday, but so much happens financially during the week that it's overwhelming now. I have a lot to cover. Hi, Tania. How are you? I hope you're doing well. So I took some notes, and before we go and I show you a video from Coach JV, I want to talk about a few things. First of all, the United States itself is very behind in crypto. My cat, well, my cat is doing okay. Um, it's day to day. Um, I'm making him a lot of homemade foods and stuff. That's probably why I have not been on here as much as I've turned into a cat chef. And that's all I've been doing is cooking for the cat. But um, I just made some fresh ground lamb for him with some bone broth and some other stuff. I have to put like vitamin E oil and a whole bunch of other things that are vitamins that cats need. Still very skinny, still fairly dehydrated. So it is day to day. But thank you so much for asking. Oh, I am so jealous. I love the Netherlands. Um, I don't know what part you're in. I spent time in Rotterdam and in Amsterdam, and I just love Holland. I want to go back so bad. It's probably one of my favorite countries in Europe. See, cooking for your pets is a good thing. And what's nice about living where I live is if I was in a big city, they would be talking about um, giving them better canned food that costs an arm and a leg. Iams, Hills Science Diet. Well, my cats don't like that, and they're not going to eat that. So, but they will eat homemade food. So, what's nice about living out here is I have a veterinarian that is, I call her the salt of the earth woman, meaning she believes in those natural, holistic things to help. And she's the one who kind of gave us a crash course on making our own cat food. So I'm very thankful to her. And thank you for asking, Tanaya. I'm in Eindhoven. I'm not sure where Eindhoven is, but wherever it is, it does sound quite lovely. All right, getting on to Financial Fridays here. So the US does fall behind in crypto. And what is happening with our government, and we've got this Gary Gensler from the SEC. Uh, how do I say this? I think his days are numbered. I think they're getting ready to fire him. We're at a point here where if we don't get on board and get our shit together, we're going to be in a decline. And the US is already in a gradual decline economically. Um, about 5 years ago, I did a YouTube video, maybe it was 4 years ago, and I said that China would be the next superpower. And there were a couple of people really bitching and moaning in my comments. And here we are 5 years later, and it's happening. See, I don't just say stuff to say stuff. I have a crystal ball, so to speak, and I can see into the future, and I can see what's coming, what's getting ready to happen. So, um, those of you who were offended with that comment, it's becoming reality now, isn't it? Because the stars never lie. Okay, so anyway, we're talking about the SEC and Gary Gensler, and that what he's trying to do is drive out the crypto market here in the United States. Okay. And that is not good. Crypto Coinbase itself has already sent its holders, which I'm one of them. I have a little in Coinbase. I just minted an NFT. It was free. I think I paid like a little bit in Ethereum to have it minted where I stand with Coinbase, because I do on this. What they're trying to say is that cryptocurrencies, especially the stable coins, stable coins run on our American dollar. So a stable coin would be like DAI, DAI, USDC, United States digital currency. USDT, I think, is another one. There's a couple of other stable coins, and they run closely with the American dollar. Tania, I'm going to answer that question in a minute. Hold on. I see it, and I'm going to answer it. Hold on. So they're trying to say that stable coins are a security, when in reality, they're kind of a currency, in my opinion. But what Gary Gensler is trying to do is he's trying to push out the digital asset market out of the United States. So right now, Coinbase has, I believe, are looking into getting a license in India. Oh God, there was another company that's doing the same thing. However, Gary Gensler was just grilled, and I can go into this and show you video, but it's 2 weeks old, so it's kind of not as relevant as it was. I mean, it's still relevant, but they were grilling him, and in reality, he really couldn't answer anything because he doesn't know shit from honey. Sorry to say, but they're getting ready to fire him. I think people are turning on him. And remember, the SEC is the Security and Exchange Commission. So Gary Gensler is running the show right now. What were my notes on this? He's being removed as we speak by his own staff because they're turning on him because he just can't answer the questions, the hard questions that are being asked. He just has no clue what he's doing. And this is where we need to find politicians and people that are somewhat digital currency savvy, okay? Because this is the future. Please remember, you can bitch and moan about it all you want. It is here to stay. Blockchain technology is here to stay, okay? So yeah, about 5 years ago, I said China was the next superpower, and a lot of people got upset with me, but it's very true. Now, I'm going to say this, and please, those who know me well know I can't stand the man, but something he said made sense. And this is coming from Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump was a horrible politician. He's lied, he's cheated, and he's stealed. He has indoctrinated a certain group of people. I call those people the weak-minded because they can't think for themselves, and they're like monkeys following him. Monkey see, monkey do. 5 years from now, I don't be hearing much of Donald Trump. Very surprised. But there is something Donald Trump did say, and I've said this before. If he gave me a list of things to invest in, I would invest in them because he is good at investing. But he said, and I quote, "When a country loses its currency, it's like losing a war." And he's absolutely right in that regard. And we're getting ready to lose our currency. It's on the decline. Now, what about India? You're saying, well, India is involved with BRICS, so India will be fine. India, China, Russia, South Africa, oh God, Brazil, and now Mexico. These are countries that are all going to go on BRICS. Now, BRICS will be just fine. The American dollar will not, because the American dollar is backed by debt. It's not backed by the gold standard. BRICS will be backed by the gold standard, and that is what needs to be done. I'm sorry, but Joe Biden is also another one who doesn't know shit from honey when it comes to this new blockchain technology and the Web3. And he's making decisions that are hurting people financially. Um, now, I'm not saying Trump didn't do the same, but it is happening. And speaking of the euro is looking into something too, some sort of digital currency that will run alongside the euro. But I don't know too much yet about the euro. I'll have to do some more investigating um, on that. But so the issue with Gary Gensler is that he doesn't really know what's going on. We're asking the hard questions, and he's just not able to answer those questions. Um, Stop it. Cats are fighting. So anyway, I'm going to play this because please remember, mainstream media isn't going to tell you any of this. You have to do your own research. I've known this for years. The only thing I have on my side that this gentleman with the beard does not have is I'm an ancient astrologer, so I can look into the future and see what's coming. He doesn't know what's coming. Financially, he does, but he doesn't know all the particulars because knowledge is power. And that's not his fault. He's a businessman. He's not a spiritualist. He's not an astrologer. So, he wouldn't know these things per se, but he's not an idiot. And I would listen to him over a great many other people. So, with that being said, he has a video up called War with China. And I'm going to play some of it for you. Okay? Here we go.
Number one, show America, and I'm going to show you a video from China where they are both married. It's in 2019, the World Economic our whole world. As we look this way, there was another narrative going on. There's climate change narrative, and now we're in the middle of a war narrative. So I'm going to show you what both countries are doing, China and America. Then I'm going to show you Ray Dalio's. I highly recommend you dive into Ray Dalio's information. And next, is Dalio's perception based on and economic cycles of what is actually happening. If you pay attention and pull yourself to a 30,000-foot overview, you can see very, very clearly that humans go in cycles. It's biblical. It's human behavior. We get too much of a good thing and we cycle back. So you and I are right in the middle of a mass we've never experienced in our living history. Pay attention. Time that we have the biggest shifts we've ever had in all consciousness. So you should be preparing and getting your shit together. I'm not talking prepping and all that. I'm talking mentally, physically, spiritually, getting your house in order, developing some principles, discipline, and consistency, and number one, being around the right community. So at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how we've helped over 6,000 warriors with like-minded individuals rising up together, not against anybody, not to protest, to get our shit together, look in the mirror and say, yes, during the greatest time in history, I shift my family's timeline. All right, so let's dive right into it. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is I'm going to show you a video where President Biden says himself, he says, yes, if China invades Taiwan, we will send troops to Taiwan. Now, if you're in my Warrior Academy last Thursday, I literally predicted this. Didn't predict anything. It's facts, figures, numbers, logic. I have a logical circuit. I can see forward and backwards. My dyslexia makes me pay attention, and it connects all these dots together. Well, basically, as soon as Russia invaded Ukraine, okay, We had all these issues going on in America. Russia invaded Ukraine. We took them off the SWIFT system, or tried to. Now Russia and China are teaming up to create their own digital currency. The BRICS nations are starting to rise up. 19 other countries are trying to join. It's social, geopolitical inside of America. We got all these different agendas where they're turning against each other and putting stuff in our face that we never thought about before. But now both countries in the same week are doing a simulation to get ready for what they're actually doing. I'll show you from Ray Dalio's Changing World Order where we're at in the cycle, so you should be prepared.
Taiwan makes their independence. We are not moving, we're not encouraging their being independent. We're not, that's their decision.
But would U.S. forces defend the island?
Yes, if in fact there was an unprecedented attack.
So unlike Ukraine, to be clear, sir, U.S. forces, U.S. men and women would defend Taiwan in the event of a Chinese invasion.
Yes.
President Biden last fall saying for the first time that if China invades Taiwan, it's
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there. And I might have to do this recording over. Tania is telling me that the internet is crappy. I don't know why the fuck I pay for internet through Elon Musk, because it's just pure shit. Sorry, pardon my French, but I'm kind of getting pissed right now. But anyway, if you can hear me, they're getting ready for war. Now, those of you that are in my Patreon, you know I've given you the dates on when war will start. And war is coming. Beginning phases of it are going to take place this month. Full blown by October. Okay. I hope I'm wrong, but it doesn't look too good, especially with the dragon moving in July into an Aries Libra tail. What does Aries rule? Aries is the Lord of war. So, military, war, birth of Hitler's spirit. We're seeing that in the United States. Now, there are nuclear submarines stationed under the China Sea near North Korea. And China's doing the same thing. They're preparing. They're getting ready. Please remember the dragon's tail is going into Libra. Generally, Libra is about peace, diplomacy, balance, harmony. And when you have a tail there, it's going to be quite the opposite. It won't be balanced. It'll be chaotic. Like I said, if this recording's crummy, I am going to redo it. Okay, so I'm not going to play all of this video, but I'm just preparing you for what is coming. Now, my Patreons have received the May newsletter with all the days of caution. Another thing that gets hit when something happens to the economy is a major disaster can hit finances. It can hit the stock market. It can hit real estate, things like that. So I'm not saying there's going to be a major disaster, but May is a very volatile month. It's a lunar eclipse on the 5th. So we've got that energy. And you know that when there's a lunar eclipse, usually it does and can create some sort of earth disruption. I believe there's already a volcano erupting in Costa Rica as of this morning. And what else? I'm trying to think of what I heard this morning. Or something else. I don't know if it was more tornadoes. You have your nodes there. So you have a natal dragon's head placed in Aries and the tail is in Libra. Is that correct? Anyway. So I am going to close out of this. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing that. And we are back. Now, I'm going to share another video with you. This has nothing to do with finances. I just want you to be prepared. Okay. I don't want things coming as a shock when there will be more banks having issues. So let me look at something because I wrote all my notes in here. And I'm not going to give all the dates because that would not be fair to any of my Patreons who pay good money for this information. But I did say I would share a couple of weeks of the May forecast with you. And I have given you a big window, May 10th through the 17th. Be prepared for some sort of shocking event. I'm going to say shocking because it's going into Uranic energy. Be prepared for some sort of shocking event. I'm not saying it's an earthquake. It could be a volcano. It could be insane weather. It can be nuclear. It could be war. Now, whatever happens between the 10th and the 17th, if Mother Earth doesn't stretch herself then I guarantee you she's going to get the job done back on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of May. Don't count out May 4th, 5th, and 6th, especially that lunar eclipse coming in the deadly sign of Scorpio. Scorpio, when it's in its negative, can create all kinds of destruction and havoc. So I want to prepare you because the news is going to get ugly. If you thought it was ugly now, it's going to get uglier. This is not me instilling fear. This is just me seeing into the future. But I mean, if you think, oh, you're instilling fear, then this isn't the channel for you. Okay? Because I would rather know what's coming than have my head buried in the sand. The ones that have their heads buried in the sand, you're the ones that are going to lose your shit the most when the shit hits the fan. Pardon my French, but it's true fact here. Okay. So I follow a news. Hey, Leslie, it will happen in the USA. Okay. I think so too. I'm going to share a video with you. Fingers crossed that you can see this. Okay. But I talked about the Cascadian Subduction Zone. I've got better video footage of something and I want to share it with you. Okay, so let me go to my share screen so I can present this to you. Bear with me, kids. Okay, it's up. Let's do full screen. All right, this is from a news channel, WION, and it comes from India, okay? And I just love them. I just love this channel. And I just discovered them about a week ago, and I'm watching everything they're posting. So I want to share this with you because it is important that you know. Here we go.
Now, earthquakes are most 7.8 on the Richter scale. An estimated 57,000 people lost their lives. But what would happen if a magnitude 9 on the Richter scale earthquake were to strike? Scientists fear after they found a hole at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. And our next report gets more details.
Oceans are the surface of our planet. They hold about 97% of the Earth's water. They are the source of protein billion to regulate our climate, acting as a natural carbon sink and support the greatest abundance of life on our planet. But deep within, it also holds many mysteries, and scientists find one deepest secret, water oozing out from the seabed. It's a leak which has alarmed scientists. These images were recorded by a research vessel of Washington University's study team. While water seeping from the seabed is not so unusual, however, the chemical composition and the location of the seepage is curious. This leak was found at least 80 kilometers off the Oregon coast in the Cascadian Subduction Zone. This fault line stretches from Canada's west coast to Northern California in the US. Observations are in from 4 kilometers beneath the sea floor. It is located at the boundary of a tectonic plate. Basically, tectonic plates divide the Earth's crust into distinct plates, and they are constantly moving at a very slow pace. Earthquakes are concentrated along the edges of these plates. Scientists fear that once the water stops flowing out, it can lead to a buildup of stress, leading to a devastating earthquake. The fault could unleash a magnitude 9 earthquake in the Pacific Northwest. An earthquake that big can completely destroy cities along the northwestern US. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
Is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on.
Okay. I'm hoping you guys were able to see that. I hope the broadcast came out okay. If not, I'll redo this tonight. I'm not going live, and hope it works out better. But that is very disturbing, and I covered it a little bit last week, and I just wanted to show you another video just so you know I'm not full of complete shit. Not to mention, we have flooding right now on the Mississippi and all that snowpack in California. Yosemite has just closed because they're expecting massive flooding. So there's a lot of water coming for California from what I'm seeing. A lot of water coming for California, and that can mean the snowpack melt. But what I just showed you is science. It's scientific. This is a ticking time bomb. I'm hoping to God it does not happen, but it eventually will. And I guarantee you, in the realm of the stars, it's going to happen in either a Moonic phase or a Uranic phase. Plutonics, earthquakes do happen as well. I believe Turkey, that last earthquake in Turkey was under a Plutonic phase. A lot of earthquakes do happen in those three phases. Remember, Plutonic phases rule death and drama. So a lot of earthquakes do create a lot of mass death and a lot of drama. But it's best to be prepared. If you live on the coast, stock up on water and food and batteries and things like that. Necessities to get you through for a couple of weeks. And Leslie, I do agree. It will happen in the US, and it will. It will. I'm trying to pick the right words to say here, and I really am at a loss. I don't know. A wake up is coming for a great many people, and a lot of people are going to be blindsided by it. We're going to see Bitcoin dropping. We're going to see gold drop. And that'll be a cue to go in and buy when the gold and the Bitcoin start dropping. Digital currency isn't going anywhere. And even though I hate CBDC, central bank digital currency, I'm not going to keep all of my money in that. There's no getting away from it, per se. The only thing we can do as Americans, and this is just me speaking for America, is elect better politicians. Okay, we're focusing on the most ridiculous shit here. Okay, just like the guy that coached JV. I've heard him say before that he doesn't care if the president's wearing a dress as long as he's doing his job or her job. And I have to agree with him. We're focusing so much on the LGBTQIA community and fucking them over, pardon my French, that we've completely lost track of what's going on over here. And some of you, especially the religious zealots, those of you, now it's not me bagging on Christians, but that's me saying these white Christian nationalists, they're bringing this country down. And a lot of them have no idea what's coming economically. Now, this can mean civil war for us too. And please remember, when a nation is under civil war, it makes us unbalanced and it makes us more vulnerable to other invasions, if you know what I'm saying here. But we need to start electing people that actually know what's going on in the crypto finance world. We need to start electing people that are younger than 70 years old and have some sort of concept of this new age money that's coming. When you continue to elect boomers, you're going to get old ways that don't work anymore. They may have worked 30, 40, 50 years ago, but we're in a new paradigm. We're in a new paradigm of money. And you've got to start electing people that are focused on that, not demonizing the gay community. I don't have any time for that. Please remember, once again, I'm going to repeat this to some of you out there. It's written in your stars. It's your stars. You can't pray the gay away. You can't do any kind of horrible, cruel conversion. The gay community is born that way. It's in their celestial DNA. You can't change it. And why would you? They are who they are. They're here. They're queer. Get used to it. I'm so sick of people focusing on this when we've got real problems going on in this country. And it sure is not the LGBTQIA community. Unfortunately, with this tail going into Libra in July, this is where they're going to come under scrutiny even more. Okay? Like I said earlier, Dragon Head in Aries. I'm waiting for my stream to get better. Dragon Head in Aries is the rebirth of Hitler in some way. Okay. I don't think cash is going to go out right away either. I just don't. I don't see that happening right away. The CBDC will be introduced here in the United States probably this month, coming in May. Full stream probably by July, but they're still going to be using cash for at least another year. We have elections in Greece next month, but no one is trustworthy. Yeah, I know. I get that. We just had Joe Biden throw in his hat for re-election. And we also have Donald Trump, who is trying to become president again. And I think there's two other candidates, Kennedy and that, oh my God, Marianne Williamson. I'm sick of Trump and I'm sick of Biden. You're too old. You need to go. You don't. I do think Trump has some knowledge of the crypto world because he's a finance and businessman, but he's not going to tell you guys. He's not going to tell the common man shit. Remember that. Joe Biden, I don't think has any clue what's going on. But please do remember, it wouldn't have mattered whether Trump was in office or Biden was in office. This whole CBD thing is coming. You can't stop it. It wouldn't have mattered whether there was a Republican or a Democrat in office. CBDC is coming. This was created and this was planned by our government. The president is just the figurehead. Okay, but we need to have better choices for elections because as it stands now, I don't know too much about Kennedy or Williamson, but I sure as hell am not voting for Biden and I sure as hell am not voting for Trump. I'm going to start looking at Biden's stars because, man, I don't even think he's going to finish this election, this presidency without having some issues coming. I mean, he's 80 years old. My mother's 85. I asked my mother the other day, let me ask you something. Say you were 5 years younger. Do you think you could run the country? She's like, oh God, no. And I'm not trying to throw ageism in here. I'm in my 50s. I'm just saying that we need to start electing officials that actually have some common knowledge of finance and business. Yeah, we don't have I think they do that on purpose because it's already planned. The whole voting thing. It's already a planned thing. I don't know. Now they want to get rid of TikTok, which I find funny. So I'm going to say this before I pull some cards. If you go farther down the rabbit hole and you kind of look, like all these politicians that are trying to block TikTok, there are 150 million people in the United States that are on TikTok. I'm one of them. I love TikTok. There are 5 million people that run their business through TikTok, which I have actually thought about doing, but I'm holding off because all of this stuff going on with them trying to censor them and shut them down. I'm just kind of waiting. So if you go farther down that rabbit hole, all of these congressmen and senators who are against this are lobbied by Meta. Meta is the company run by Facebook. And I've already prepared. I don't do any business with Meta. I try and stay off of Facebook as much as I can because I don't want to deal with it. I prefer TikTok over Facebook, always have, always will. I just think it is just more savvy. I can reach people far better. I think TikTok or Facebook is dying out. He's going to have to reinvent himself with something else, but you're going to have a lot of problems, not just with people here, okay, but other places as well, because sometimes countries, it's like monkey see, monkey do. Oh, we should do that too, censor TikTok. There's too many people, and when they start losing money, then they'll wake up, okay? But if these senators and politicians try, they're getting exposed. They're getting exposed as we speak. We're seeing who their lobbyists are. We're seeing the money they're being given. I'm sure Zuckerberg himself is giving money to these politicians so that they can keep Meta. But I do remember back in 2016, Facebook got in trouble for giving our information away. I don't know who was that? Not Dominion. It was some company. He was giving our information to. So the one thing they want to ding TikTok for is the exact same thing Facebook has already done. There's just some of you out there are too stupid to wake the fuck up and see it. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say it in a nice way. Not all of you. Well, Corey, many of you are incredibly enlightened. But it's usually the ones that are focused on, how do I say this? That steer to a very far Democratic or a very far right, where they're calling people libtards or this and that. Those are the ones that are going to lose the most because they're not seeing the bigger picture here. Please remember, both parties are a double-edged sword. They're a two-headed one-party dragon. They're two sides of the coin. They're both assholes, and I can't stand them. I can't stand neither party. So what I'm trying to say is just keep watching certain things like the World Economic Forum. Keep watching what the SEC is doing. Don't listen to what mainstream media is doing because they're not telling you. Billionaires own the media. So billionaires aren't going to tell you the truth. They want to keep you sheeple and they want to keep you indoctrinated. So you need to go out and search. I know that's hard for a lot of people to do. A lot of people work, they don't have the time. And it also has to do with, I was just watching a video about how humanity's frequency levels are down. And the reason our frequency levels are down is they're doing it to us on purpose. They're putting shit in the water. They're putting shit in the food. They're over medicating you, and they're keeping you fat, and they're keeping you lazy with the food. And that does something to the mind where people can't think for themselves. It's all perfectly planned. This is why I'm doing my own cat food, because that's a big scam too. The pet food industry and the shit that goes into our pets' food is horrible. I don't get it either, Tanaya. I agree. Oh my God. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I I don't understand how you could be so indoctrinated and so in love with a party that doesn't give two shits about you, two shits about your family, and two shits about your kids. They don't care. All they care about is their lobbyists and getting more money. That's all. And I guarantee you, a great many of our politicians are already putting their money into digital assets. They know. They don't want you to know because they want you to continue to be the working poor. That's what it's coming to. So yeah, some of you out there keep drinking that Kool-Aid. Keep drinking it. Sorry. Anyway, I'm done bitching and moaning on a Friday afternoon. I want to show you something. So I got a free deck of cards. These are the Green Witch Oracle cards. I hope you can see them. It's cute because they have fruits on them. Now, I got these free through a wholesaler because I get points, and I had a lot of points. So I did get an extra deck, and I'm going to be selling it very cheap on my store over the weekend. So come Monday, you'll want to check out my store. I'm going to be putting a whole bunch of stuff up, and I'm going to be running some May specials because I know the month of May is going to get real scary. Please note that if you are in Patreon and you want your full life reading, I'm running a sale of $88.88, but if you're a Patreon member, you have to be a member for 3 months before you can do it. But Patreon, you get it at half the price. So I'm $150, you'd get it for $75. That's the Patreon deal. A lot of my Patreons have already had their full life readings, so they usually just do progressives every year. Anybody in the chat want me to pull a card out of this new deck? For now, I'm going to pull one for the world at large, and let's see what messages the universe has for the weekend ahead. This is the last weekend of April, and then we move into the month of May. All right, and the card for the universe and for the world at large is to have wholeness. Wholeness. And these are blackberries. And what this means is, hold on, it's also card number 33. So it is a master number, 33. Okay. Wholeness, to have wholeness. What does that mean for you? Okay. Now for me, having wholeness is about not just financial riches, but having wholeness, being complete in my spirituality, complete in my craft or my faith, whatever that is, you know, things like that, to have wholeness. That's the message for the world at large. Okay, Tanaya, I will get yours next. What messages do you have for Antonia? Well, Antonia, you got two cards, two spit out at the same time. So we're going to do both of them. So the first card is marigolds, and it is to have positivity. Keep positive. I know in these horrible times, we can get a little depressed and a little saddened by what's going on in life. So have some positive um, of affirmations. One way to instill positivity in your daily life, and I do this every night, and that is when I go to bed at night, I, how do I say this? When I wake up every morning, let's start there. When I wake up in the morning, before my feet hit the ground, I say three things that I'm thankful for in life. Okay, could be more than three. When I go to bed at night, I sit there and I thank the universe for the things that I've already been given. Okay. So that's the positiveness of things. Positive affirmations for yourself, for your spirit. The next one that popped out, which would make sense since you are visiting your son, is love. And those are tomatoes. Tomato. One of my favorite fruits. So this is about having positive energy, Antonia, but also you're surrounding yourself this weekend with love because you're with your family, and that's beautiful. Hope that helped. These are new. I'm still getting used to them, and they're oracle cards more than anything, but I thought I'd share them with you. Good. I'm glad you like. Wonderful. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the connection is better, and I'm actually doing this through software streaming that I pay for every month. So we might have to look into better software because StreamYard isn't any. But anyway, I want you all to have a great weekend. Enjoy. Oh, my outdoor kitty's crying. And what is today? The 28th. I'm going to come back on here sometime on Sunday. And I'm going to give you, normally I don't get on for the May energy forecast, but I might, considering what's going on for the month of May. And I will give you a couple of weeks. If you like what you see, you can get that whole article for $5 a month, along with monthly tarots I pull, because I'm Patreon. Keep an eye out. Sunday I will also be doing the tarot for the month of May for the entire zodiac. But I will come back on here. I'm going to try to come back on here Sunday. If I don't, it will be Monday for sure. And we'll go over May and May's energy. And don't forget, we do have a lunar eclipse coming on the 5th of May. And this is going to be where we have wake-up calls in our own lives. Wherever this lunar eclipse is hitting by house and sign, there is going to be some sort of a death, not a physical, but hypothetical. Remember, eclipses are about death and rebirth, death of a situation, death of a problem, and a rebirth. Even in the tarot, when we get the death card, people freak out. Oh my God, the death card, the death card. It's actually one of the best cards in the deck because you know a rebirth of something is coming. There may be a death of something, but a rebirth is coming and a new transformation within our own selves. So keep that in mind when we go into this lunar eclipse. It is going to get violent out there in the world. I advise Patreons to stay clear and lay low. Please do not go to any kind of political rallies, or you're going to pay the ultimate price. Steer clear of them. That's all I can say. Steer clear of them. And I am just about out of here. You guys, Tania, Antonia, have a great weekend. Enjoy the Netherlands. Who else was in here? And Leslie, if you're still in here, thank you for joining. And all of you out there, be safe. Have a good weekend. I would really enjoy this weekend. Okay, get out there and enjoy it, because next weekend's going to be brutal. That's all I'm going to say. Yes, you're right, Tania. People do not want to leave their comfort zone. You're absolutely right. You're very welcome. And all of you out there, be safe. I'll see you soon. Ciao.